Have you ever been sitting in a movie theater totally lost in the story and just thought to yourself, how in the world did they make this? Well, from that first tiny spark of an idea to a giant global blockbuster, it's an amazing journey. Today, we're going to walk through the 5 stages that make it all happen.
Right? It's a huge question. How does one simple thought get turned into this massive thing that millions of people all over the world can experience together? How does that even work? Well, let's break it all down.
The entire complex process of making a movie really comes down to these 5 key stages. Think of this as our roadmap. We're going to follow a movie's life from that very first idea all the way to the moment it finally hits the big screen.
All right, let's dive in. First up is Stage 1, Development. And I love this nickname for it, the architect's dream. Because think about it, before you can build a skyscraper, you need a blueprint, right? This is where that blueprint for the entire movie gets dreamed up. You know, this stage proves a movie is so much more than just a good story. It's really about packaging that story into something people will actually invest money in. So scripts are written and then they're rewritten like a million times. If the idea is from a book, you've got to secure the rights, and crucially, you try to attach big names, a star actor or a well-known director, to make the whole project look way more attractive to the people with the checkbooks. All of that work, all that packaging and planning, it's all pushing toward one single magical word: greenlit. Getting the green light is the single biggest hurdle. It's that moment when a studio or an investor says, "Yep, we believe in this. Here's a massive pile of cash. Go make your movie." Seriously, this is the turning point. Until this moment, the movie is just a stack of papers and a bunch of ideas. The second it gets greenlit, it becomes a real thing. It has a budget, a team, and a mission. The dream is officially under construction.
Okay, so the project's at go. That brings us to Stage 2, Pre-production. I call this crafting the blueprint. If development was the architect's first cool sketch on a napkin, pre-production is creating the incredibly detailed plans for every single part of the building.
Honestly, a lot of people will tell you this is where the movie is truly made, on paper, long before a camera ever starts rolling. Every single detail is meticulously planned out. Budgets are finalized, schedules are locked in, the entire cast and crew get hired, locations are scouted, costumes are designed. Every decision here is meant to make the actual filming process as smooth as humanly possible.
And all that careful planning leads us right into the part everybody thinks of when they picture filmmaking. Stage 3, production. This is it. This is the high-energy, high-stakes construction phase where all those blueprints finally come to life.
The official industry term for this is principal photography. This is the block of time when the main actors are on set every day, and the bulk of the movie gets filmed. And here's a wild fact. It's often the shortest part of the entire journey, but it is by far the most expensive. Every second is literally money.
A film set is just controlled chaos. You've got the director guiding the actors, the cinematographer capturing these incredible images, and hundreds of crew members all working in perfect sync like a well-oiled machine. It's all about executing the plan that was made back in pre-production.
And it's definitely not a shoot and hope for the best situation. No way. At the end of every single shooting day, the director and the key team members sit down to watch the dailies, which is all the raw, unedited footage they just shot. They're checking everything from an actor's performance to whether a shot is in focus to make sure they got what they needed before they move on.
So once that whirlwind of production is over, we enter what is often the longest phase of the whole process. Stage 4, post-production. This is where all the raw material gets transformed. It's like they've just dumped a 10,000-piece puzzle on the table, and now it's time to assemble it.
So you start with just hours and hours of raw footage, sound that was recorded separately, script notes. Post-production is the alchemy, the magic, that takes all those raw ingredients and turns them into a polished, emotional, and coherent story. And believe me, the difference between the raw footage and the final film is absolutely staggering. The raw clips can look kind of flat and dull, the audio might just be actors talking in a room, but the final film has that rich, cinematic mood with music and sound effects that guide your emotions. That whole transformation happens right here, in post. The heart and soul of post-production is editing. It starts with a rough cut, which is basically just stringing all the scenes together in the right order. Then comes the fine cut, where the editor obsesses over the timing of every single shot. And finally, you get to picture lock, which means exactly what it sounds like. The visual edit is done and it's not changing.
Once the picture is locked, all these other layers of magic get added right on top. Sound designers come in and build the entire sonic world of the film.
A composer writes the score to make you feel all the feels. Visual effects artists create impossible monsters or breathtaking landscapes. And then, a colorist goes through and digitally paints the image to create the perfect mood for every single scene.
All right, the movie is done. It's polished, it's perfect. So how does it get from a hard drive in an editing bay to you? Well, that's the final stage. Stage 5, distribution. You can think of it as the grand opening.
Because let's be real, you can make the greatest movie of all time, but if nobody knows it exists, it doesn't matter. This final stage is all about marketing and business. It's about creating awesome trailers and posters, striking deals with theaters and streaming services, and building buzz at film festivals and on press tours.
And there you have it. That's the incredible 5-stage journey that takes one fleeting thought in somebody's mind and transforms it into a 2-hour experience that can be shared and felt by millions of people all around the world. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
So, after seeing this whole journey, I've got a question for you. What do you think is the true heart of filmmaking? Is it the creative spark in development, the meticulous planning of pre-production, the chaotic energy on set, the patient magic in the edit, or is it the business smarts that finally brings it to all of us? It's something to think about the next time you're watching the credits roll.